But now joining us with more on the conflict with Iran, we have Dr. Raz Zimmt, research fellow and Iran specialist at the Institute for National Security Studies. Thank you for being with us. Now, we've been talking a lot about General Qasem Soleimani in the last few days since his assassination, but let's talk a little bit more about the IRGC, the Quds Force that he reigned over. What exactly do they do? What are they responsible for in the last few years of his activity, etc.?
Well, the Quds Force is actually one of the 5 branches of the IRGC. The IRGC has five branches. 3 of them are militarily, the Air Force, the Ground Forces, and the Navy. And then it has 2 unique branches. One is the Basij, which is so-called the popular militia. And the Quds Force is responsible actually for every activity the IRGC is conducting outside Iran. So that means either political subversiveness or supporting Hezbollah, supporting Iranian proxies, carrying out attacks against different targets, including Israeli and Jewish targets abroad. So everything which is not done inside Iran by the Revolutionary Guard.
Interesting. Now, what is Soleimani specifically responsible for? Because, you know, he has been known to have put thousands of lives at risk, but are there any specific incidents that you can speak of?
He was responsible for everything Iran has been doing in the region. For example, the support given to Bashar al-Assad in Syria. For example, the struggling against, the campaign against ISIS in Iraq, delivering precise weapons to Hezbollah, supporting the Houthis in Yemen, or supporting Islamic Jihad, the Palestinian Islamic Jihad, and Hamas in Gaza. So everything which had something to do with Iran's activity in the Arab world, especially in the Arab world, that was Soleimani's activity.
So, I mean, because we're seeing a lot of conflicting reports then about Soleimani in Iran. Is he beloved as a hero or is he hated as a tyrant? Because we're seeing a little bit of both.
Well, first of all, you have 83 million Iranians, so you had various voices. I would say that most Iranians, or many Iranians, did consider him as a national hero. First of all, because he was not involved in the Revolutionary Guard's repressive activity inside Iran. That was things which were carried out by other organs of the Revolutionary Guards. But mainly because he was considered by most Iranians as someone who was dealing with the main enemy of Iran over the last few years, which is ISIS. So he got this reputation of the national hero who defended Iranians' borders against ISIS.
Well, and it was so interesting to see those visuals that came out of Khomeini, crying, weeping.
Khomeini, yeah, right.
You know, and that to me just kind of spoke so much to how he was viewed. But let's talk a little about his views towards Israel and the West. What have they been?
Well, his views were the views of the official Iranian regime, which means
party line.
Yeah, which means concerning the United States, Iran has insisted that there is no place for the U.S. presence in the region. And concerning Israel, the long-run vision of Iran is the extermination of Israel. But that doesn't mean that tomorrow morning it's going to happen. But you have to have a certain roadmap to weaken Israel, to surround Israel with enemies, and to engage Israel with confrontations with its enemies.
All right, so now what do we know about Ismail Ghana?
Raini.
I'm sorry?
Raini.
Raini. Thank you so much. Yeah, the pronunciations eludes me. But so Raini, what do we know about this replacement, about Soleimani's replacement?
So Ismail Raini was actually Soleimani's deputy for more than 20 years. So he's been very knowledgeable about the Quds Force and about the region. His history actually quite resembles that of Soleimani. He was quite young when the revolution occurred. He joined the Revolutionary Guard soon after the revolution. During the Iran-Iraq War, he commanded 2 divisions. And then soon after the Quds Force was established in the 1990s, he joined the Quds Force. For most of the time, he was in charge actually of the Eastern Front, meaning Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Central Asia. So he knows a lot about the Quds Force, about the region. The question is whether he has the same qualities both military qualities, the operational military qualities, and the political qualities, which are required from someone who has the Quds Force. We will still have to see.
Well, the question
it's still
also
early to say.
Is there going to be any change in terms of Iranian policy or viewership, towards the rest of the world, or more specifically?
I think it's very unlikely, because the strategy in Iran is decided by the supreme leader, by the Supreme National Security Council. Soleimani was very influential, but even that.
That's what it seemed. It seemed that he was more than just this military commander.
Yeah, right. He was engaged in political decision making in Iran, but it is very unlikely that Iran will drop all its interests and its strategy in the region.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us with this update.
Thank you.